This is ESBR Boxing. Delighted to be joined by Danny and Thomas. We have just witnessed the official weigh-in for Errol Spence versus Terence Crawford. We had the actual weigh-in around 4 hours ago. This is what they call the ceremonial weigh-in. Make of that what you will, but the fighters have faced off for the final time ahead of the super fight tomorrow night. Both fighters have made weight. Errol Spence, 147 bang on. Terence Crawford just under the weight limit. Gents, it's a tricky one because can't talk too much about the shape of the fighters because we don't really know what they weigh now. But we do know they both made weight 4 hours ago. Thomas, I'll go to you first. Big fight tomorrow night. What did you make of what we've just seen? The final time both fighters are facing off against each other.
No surprises, to be honest. No big highlights. Both men just, about business. Uh, Very professional, usual. Just ready for the fight tomorrow night. I wasn't really expecting anything to pop off. I know we've been surprised at times, but um, you could tell during the face-off. I had a little bit of trouble making out what Errol was saying, but it seemed like he was trying to thank him for just making this fight happen. So
Hmm.
I think more than anything, both guys are just ready to go, ready to make this fight happen.
Yeah, definitely. What did you? It was nice to see kind of a handshake and respect there. There's been back and forth at the press conference, but at the end of the day, it's clear these guys have a lot of respect for each other. Just one point I wanted to discuss was the size difference. Errol Spence looked quite a bit bigger to me, which isn't a surprise. He's the bigger man, but yeah, just your thought on the size difference between the two of them, Thomas.
Yeah, definitely. Errol seemed to be the bigger fighter for sure. No surprises there. But I do, uh, I do kind of always forget with Terrence, like how much he's kind of filled out at welterweight too. Like at the weigh-in today, he looked pretty lean. Even with the rehydration, even with the hours of rehydration that they have today, he still looks pretty lean and shredded, for the weight. Uh, so I think perhaps he might be stronger than uh, we might expect, or closer to size and strength level to, as Errol than we might expect.
Yeah, we'll have to see tomorrow where what the fighters look like actually tomorrow night when the first bell goes and look at the size difference then.
Right.
Then we'll have to see how much of a difference it makes. Danny, what are your thoughts? What are your immediate thoughts on what we've just seen there?
I need to spend more time in the gym. I think they're in both in serious shape. I have to say though, I do hate these ceremonial weigh-ins. Like for a fight like this, when in particular with Spence, the topic of how's he made the weight, people have thought he's looked a bit tetchy all week, and then like you get absolutely nothing from that because it's been 12 hours since they've actually had to make weight. Especially if you're a betting man like myself. It's a bit annoying, but no, buzzing. The sort of final hurdle has been overcome. I think I'm not the only one who was sort of all week just hoping nothing would go wrong with the fight. And thankfully we're here. So yeah, buzzing. And even though there was obviously the sort of mini flare up at the press conference yesterday, like you can tell they're just all about business now, and I can't wait for it.
Yeah, definitely. Look, I echo what you've said about ceremonial weigh-ins. I think it does take something away from the event because at the end of the day, what we've just seen is two blokes stare at each other. I don't understand the point of the two of them stepping on scales when we know what they've already weighed in at and they
Yeah.
weigh something else now. But so it's all just a bit strange. We had it for the Devin Haney Lomachenko fight back in May. Was annoying then. It's annoying now.
Yeah.
Just same question to you, Danny, regarding the size difference there. Was the size difference what you expected? Not what you expected? Any thoughts there at all?
I didn't think it would be as sort of pronounced as it was. Spence is absolutely huge at that weight.
Mm.
Even sort of bigger now than remember when he fought Kell Brook and there was talk of Kell Brook being this huge welterweight who was always bound to move up the light middle, and Spence was a lot bigger than him then, and he's a lot bigger than Crawford now, who, as Thomas sort of says, is no small welterweight anymore. He has filled out into the weight. I knew Spence would be a lot fuller, but he looked like even like a couple of inches taller than him, which I sort of didn't envisage. But yeah, Spence is massive at that weight, and you sort of see him in like the sort of post fight build up when they chat about his next fight that like he's straight away saying, "Oh, it's 154, it's 154." So it must have been tough getting down to 147 at what 33 now. Yeah, huge at the weight.
Yeah, look, I just think look, it would be great to have seen what he kind of did look like a few hours ago. But yeah, look, I don't think there's any doubts. We'll see what happens post fight for Errol Spence, win or lose. I think if he wins, maybe there'll be a rematch at 154. If he loses, I think he'll kind of go at 154 and see what big fights are there for him. Um, Not too much else to say, gents, but I do want kind of a breakdown and what is going to happen tomorrow night. Danny, I'll go back to you. We've kind of gone back and forth. I think most people seem to be going for Crawford now, whether you're a casual fan or a hardcore fan, or maybe kind of a people pundits who kind of get paid to have these opinions. Where is your head at now, and who wins and how?
I've been Crawford since the fight was announced, and I've not seen anything recently to shake me off that. I think if the fight happened three years ago, around then, it's closer to 50-50, and you could maybe even favour Spence. But as I've said in like loads of videos, I'll not go on about it. But like I just think Crawford's lived the life a bit better than Spence. I think obviously the car crash, a lot's been made of that, and you factor that in with a really tight weight cut. I think there's a lot of variables there that point to Crawford. And I actually think he'll sort of stop him down the stretch. That's what I've said the whole time, and I'm sticking with it.
Yeah, if you had to put £5 on a round for Crawford to win, be a stoppage, what round are you going for?
10, around 10, I think.
And 10 sounds good to me. Thomas, going to go to you now. Crawford or Spence?
Man, this is a tough one, but I'm gonna go with Spence, just barely, just based on. I think he's just the more natural welterweight. I think he's just more accustomed to being at the weight, fighting welterweights on an elite level. I think he's just uh, that's really not about to be the longer, but that's really Errol's home, and I think I can definitely understand Danny's arguments, and I can definitely see it going Crawford's way, but I definitely, at least for sure, see this fight going the distance. I don't see anybody getting stuck to it.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
go Errol, close decision.
They're all close decision. Fair enough. Nice to have a bit of drama on the call. It's kind of needed to kind of wake me and Danny up a little bit. Um, Really interesting one. I think, look, I think you can't deny it. Well, you can maybe debate about it, but a lot of people would say that Spence has the better wins on his records. And maybe that could play a point. Maybe that could play a point, those wins and those kind of really tough, really fights against good opposition like Danny Garcia, Mikey Garcia, Sean Porter. Obviously, Crawford's fought Sean Porter as well. But yeah, we're nearly there, gents. I echo what Danny was saying in terms of it's nice that we're finally here. No one's tripped over in the shower or kind of got COVID at the last minute. So just over 24 hours away now. Prediction wise, I am going to side with Danny. I do think Crawford will win by stoppage at around the same time Danny's going to go for, and I'm going to go for round 8. So we'll see what happens. Danny, Thomas, thank you so much for your time. Looking forward to the fight tomorrow night, which I was watching it with both of you in person, but yet not meant to be. Thank you for both of your times, and I will speak to you again soon.
Cheers, mate.